Kids Club, Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club, Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club, Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club.
It's all about shit and stuff.
I can see your dumbbells or whatever in the background. You got some weights, pumping some iron.
Fucking pumping iron, mate. Pumping it all. Right there. See if I can get
Pumping your penis as well.
pumping my penis. That's all I do, mate. Kill them fucking guns.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
It's like my nephew. Like he whenever he poses for photos, he always does this.
Oh, where he push it against the thing? And it's
Yeah, and he's just his casual poses
like,
are like
tiny
this now.
guns. Hey,
Tommy gun. Tommy gun.
Tommy One Gun. That's from Wanking. That is.
Hello and welcome to Tom and Ollie's Big Kids Club. He's Tom and I'm Ollie.
Tom. I'm definitely Tom. How are you, Ollie?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good. It's been a while since we've done this. I think it was like January, just after Christmas.
I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've been on my travels. What have you been up to?
You can't just bury that lead. Like you went to a whole other continent for like a month. You lived there for like
A month and a bit. Yeah, it was fantastic, man. Really enjoyed it.
a life-changing experience, it seems.
Yeah, it was nuts, man. Just saw how another culture just lives. It was fantastic. Where do we start? So started off in Phuket because when I went over,
You went to Thailand for like a
Thailand for like a month. Went to Phuket, so we had to travel over there, and it was during the time when it was really like restricted as well. So I traveled over there with a pal, Adam, who I used to work with.
restricted in what sense? What for?
So basically, you had to apply for this thing called a Thailand pass, which is now, I think this month it's exempt. Like you don't need to do it anymore. But it was heavy going trying to get in there because basically they were about 2 years, well, a year behind where we are
In terms
now.
of COVID.
So, in terms of COVID,
Okay.
yeah. So it meant that I had to basically fill out loads of forms. We got to, because we traveled to Amsterdam first, spent the day in Amsterdam.
Who's we?
Me and Adam.
Oh, did Adam go as well for a bit?
Adam went along, yeah.
He didn't
So
go
this
to
is what-
Thailand though.
Yeah, he went
For the whole time?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just you by yourself.
This is where it gets good.
Okay.
So this is where it gets good. So we traveled over together.
Adam is
got
Tom's
to-
old boss, if people don't know.
Yeah, good friend of mine. We got there and basically we got to the hotel. It was like, I don't know how many hours of traveling. It was the most stressful travel ever. So we got into, I'll start at the start.
It's a good
I
place to
digress.
start.
It's always a good place to start. But basically we got to Amsterdam. We went out for the day because we got like a layover of a certain amount of time and there was enough there so we could go and have a little look round, you know.
Did you go around the red light district?
Oh yeah, loads. Yeah.
I remember
Bang
I went-
loads of geezers.
I went there. I went there for my brother-in-law's stag do, and I had to walk around by myself. My dad went as well, but I went off by myself and found some comic shops and some really cool record stores. But obviously, while you're in Rome, you at least want to walk through the kind of the main light district area just to see what it looks
Oh
like.
yeah.
And then as soon as I walked in there, I saw my dad just in the middle of it, just like looking around. I was like, oh,
I thought you were going to say in the middle of something else then.
No.
Okay.
And then as I was walking, and then the rest of the party joined us. As we were walking through, a prostitute or a lady of the night, whatever you want to call them, I don't know what the
Sex worker, I think they
Sex
prefer
worker.
to be called.
She popped out of a little room and she had
What,
an
like that?
umbrella and she just whacked me in my dick with the end of her umbrella and I just collapsed in the middle of I was like, ah! And then all these sex workers were just laughing at me and I was like, no. Yeah. That was my experience of the red light district. Most people pay for
to
that
be honest,
service.
They do to get whacked in the dick, but no, we didn't do any of that. All we did was went and had like an Italian meal, this, that, and the other. Went to this really nice restaurant. I had a steak, as I always do. But we went back into the airport and we were going to do the big flight, which is like 14 hours over to Bangkok. We got in and KLM were like, that was the airline I was flying with, basically said, look, this is wrong. You can't do it like this. Because what we'd done is we got the 2 flights. So one from the UK to Amsterdam, then another one to Bangkok. And then when we got to Bangkok, because what you have to do with this test and trace thing, you have to stop in a designated hotel for 10 days. The first night you have to isolate, and then you're welcome to go wherever you like after that. But basically what happened was we realized after KLM collared us that we'd bought a connecting flight with, like, in Asia, in like Thailand, there's so many like cheap flights, and like, I don't know, they're like really budget airlines, and we'd bought a budget airline to take us from Bangkok down to Phuket.
And this is straight as soon as you got there.
Straight after, because you can't leave the airport. And we'd bought a separate flight instead of flying with KLM straight to Phuket. Anyway, like KLM were like, when you get to Bangkok, they'll send you home because you haven't got the connecting flight. So we were there, and I'm not kidding you, we had like 15 minutes to get another flight booked. We had like 3 women sorting it all out in Amsterdam. Ended up like paying like an extra load of money, not loads, but we got on the flight with like 2 minutes to spare. Got on the flight, went all the way down to got to Bangkok, got into Bangkok. Everybody there basically gets led to different directions, and me and Adam were just stood there going, oh shit, we're getting sent home, man. So these 3 Thai women who worked for the airline, who were fantastic, so accommodating, saw what had happened, like saw that we tried to book another connecting flight. We got left with another woman who was like some surfer chick, and she was like, I've got the same thing going on. And we were like, oh, okay. But basically it took us another hour just in Bangkok, so we've not even left the airport, to get it sorted so we can go down to Phuket. And it was so stressful. And they were like, right, because obviously the language barrier, I'm going like, oh yeah, we need to do this. They're going, so you need to book this, you need to have this, you need to have this. And we're having to do it like all lost in translation. We managed to get it done, but we're running from one end of the airport in Bangkok, which is, I can't even pronounce it, the biggest airport in Bangkok, and running to and from like different departments. And we managed to get on the plane, flew all the way to Phuket, managed to get out of Phuket after having like the test with this woman who's in like the only way I can describe it is like 10 glass boxes with women behind, and you know, like when people are handling,
have they got the gloves through the holes?
Yeah.
So like the monkey in Outbreak.
Exactly that. So they do the test on me, and when they did the test, it went right up. I thought they were going to take my eyeball out because they haven't got the dexterity because of these gloves. And I felt like I was in Rabid or something like that. Did that to me, did it to Adam. And we were like, right, okay, sweet. We're in, we're out. Then you have to get a connecting like bus that we'd missed to your hotel because you're not allowed to get any public transport. So we were like, fuck. So we sat there, we're waiting for it. Like eventually after, I don't know, 30 minutes, this Thai geezer comes over and he's like, right, yeah, smiling. So like, I can't express how fucking amazing the people are there. Ended up driving us to the hotel. I don't know what time it was. We're jet lagged as fuck. We get in and we're like, right, we just need to sleep. The hotel was fucking amazing, by the way. We get in there, fall asleep. Adam's like out of the count. I can't sleep anyway. I don't tend to. I have like 5 hours and I'm up.
Same.
So I wake up and I'm like, right, I'm going for breakfast. I've heard the breakfast here are amazing. I walk down the stairs, past the pool, looking at the pool, going, yeah, that's the one. I'm getting in that after my breakfast, go for my breakfast. And they're like, what's your name? And I was like, it's and I thought, shit, okay, it's booked under Adam's name because we were sharing a room for the first night. I was like, it's Adam. And they were like, okay, yeah, go through, have your breakfast. So I'm sat there and I'm like, I'm going to go easy. I'm not going to go like full on, but like they've got everything. They've got it all. They've got curry. They've got Thai green curry for breakfast and this, that, and the other. I ended up having like some pastries and I'm sat there with my pastries, orange juice. And all of a sudden, this like, the only way I can describe them is like men in black but Thai, and they came over and they were like, Adam, and I was like, oh fuck it, yeah, I'm Adam, yeah, and they're like, get back to your room. I was like, what the fuck? Why do I need to why am I getting arrested? And I was like, no, it's actually Tom. I'm stopping with Adam. And they were like, your friend, he has COVID.
Oh no.
Yeah. So we're there and I'm like, you are joking. And I'm like, have I got COVID? And they were like, no, you've tested negative. And I was like, I don't want to go.
This was from the same woman who was swabbing you.
No. So that was at the airport.
Did another test.
But that is the test that confirmed that he had COVID. So we get there. So basically they go, right, you need to get back in the room with him. And I'm like, but I'm negative. The COVID manager of the hotel is like, I can't remember his name now. Manny, I think his name was. He's like, right, you both need to go in there. So we go in. I'm like, Ad, I got some bad news here. You've got COVID. I haven't. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, long story short, he has to isolate for 10 days
Oh, no.
in that room, in that single room, which was a lovely room.
Yeah, but after 10 days.
Yeah. Like, I'm in there with him, like going, you stay the fuck on that side. I'm staying the fuck on this side.
You should have got some tape, when like in sitcoms where they like tape the room.
So we had like bacterial wipes, and like if he threw the remote to me for the phone, like I was wiping everything off. I was telling him to get out and I was making him stand on the balcony because I was like, Adam's been here before. I've not been here. I want to enjoy this. So like, anyway, we get on a WhatsApp group with the COVID manager.
He's still on the same chat now.
I've still got it. Yeah, it's hilarious. And I'm like, Adam has to isolate for 10 days, yes? And he's like, yes. I said, I'm negative. I don't want to be in a room with him and I don't want to isolate. He was like, you have to do a test. If yours is negative, you can leave the room. And I'm like, but I'm going to fucking catch it if I'm in this room with someone with highly contagious. Yeah. So in the end, we had to pay, I think it was like £100 each for 2 more tests. He got confirmed he was positive. I was negative. I text the COVID manager going, so now I'm negative for the second time. Can I leave and book it? And he was like, yes. So I ran out the door. I'd already packed all my stuff and I was like, bye, Adam. And I felt awful, but I was like, I'm out. Went and booked myself another hotel room in the same hotel because it was wicked. And then for the next 10 days, I was Tommy tours on Phuket on my own. And it was wicked because I don't mean to sound harsh, but that's exactly what I needed. I needed to be on my own. I needed to go and do shit on my own. And it was just beautiful there as well, man. But Adam ended up there for 10 days. I probably shouldn't say this, but we broke him out one of the nights because a friend of his, Sam, came over. Lovely girl. Become really good friends with her, actually. She's wicked. And she came over and met me because she was meant to be meeting Adam. And the one night, because he'd been in there 10 days, and what we used to do is we'd stand by the door, like sit outside the door and just talk to Adam while he was in there. So he'd be sitting in there, like in his confined
Did you have
space.
like a glass to the door?
Just like this. Well, no, we had the door wide open. Like, there's so much shit that we did, but it was ridiculous. Like, so we knew that Adam wasn't contagious, but he was still testing positive because you still do. And we were like, fuck this. He'd gone mental. It was probably day 8. And I was like, I'm busting you out, man. I'm busting you out. So we basically ended up getting like a tut-tut waiting for us. And I'm like, right, it's time. It was like 11 o'clock at night. So it's probably 9 o'clock at night. And I was like, we're doing this. And he was busting him out. He's wearing like a cap and everything. No one gave a shit. Like, none of the staff gave a crap. All that it was a money-making scheme, to be honest. Like, because Adam ended up having to do like 4 tests, £100 a time. Like, if you keep in mind, like over in Thailand, like for a test to be like 100 quid, that's like £1,000 over here.
That's a lot of money. I mean? Like,
yeah, it's a lot of money.
Considering, did we even have to pay for ours? I don't think we did we? Could just go to a centre. And I mean, I know we had the little PCR test, the little kind of, I know they're not the proper tests, but like.
Yeah. Well, so I got 10 days there, but I ended up, long and short, I spent a lot of time on my own over there, but I also was hanging with Adam quite a bit as well. But I travelled from the south up until the north. So stopping in places like, I was in Krabi, so Ao Nang, place called Rayleigh, which if you ever go over that way, you need to try out. It's basically just two streets on a peninsula, which feels like an island, but a peninsula is when it's just locked off by loads of mountains. And I ended up doing like abseiling and various other really cool shit. Like they've got bioluminescence over there as well.
Oh, wicked.
So like at 12 o'clock at night, I was like swimming in like, it's like some kind of James Bond movie, just like swimming, and it was like just lighting up in front of me, all this algae and like all these rocks overhead. It was bonkers. It was bonkers. So Krabi is amazing. That's like your picture postcard stuff. Then I went up to loads of places in Krabi. So Ao Nang,
Tommy Travels. That's what I'm gonna call you.
Tommy Travels, man. It was incredible, and like basically, it's led me to want to travel more. So in September, hopefully, because the other thing that's going well at the moment is my band. So Deadbird released the record. I'll go into that in a bit, but it's been received really, really well.
Because it's really, really good. That's why.
Oh, bless you, man. Thank you. And you know what? Like after playing music I'm 36 now, and like always been in bands, but never doing it for the right reason. Not the right reasons. They've always been a bit of fun, but like playing with Chris and like getting the three other chaps, Matthias, Tim, and Pete, in the band, and we've booked some stuff. I'm going to say on here because I don't think anyone's going to give a shit that we're doing it. But we're playing Arctendrium Festival. We've got a couple of dates, one in Zurich, one in Milan, hopefully. And we're trying to book, I think we've got a gig with a band called Chalk Hands, who are amazing. And I think we're going to try and do a little tour with them at some point. That would be incredible.
In the UK or?
I think UK, because going back to what my plan is September, I'd like to travel for a little bit more. So I'd like to go back to Thailand and do some of the things that I missed out on. So like the one thing I couldn't do while I was over there was Muay Thai, like my kickboxing.
Oh yeah.
Because I really wanted to go to a few fights. All of the fights were basically
Get your ass
stopped.
kicked.
Well, they were stopped because of COVID.
Yeah,
so the only place that we're showing them were in Bangkok.
Oh, do you mean actually going to see an actual fight?
Yeah, go to see him. And like I couldn't really train because it was just a hassle. And like, so the next time I go, I'd like to do like a 2-week training camp over there.
I bet that's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, it's brutal. So I'm trying to sort myself to be able to do that. But yeah, all depending on what happens with the band. I want to go over to in September, maybe do Vietnam, Bali, and Thailand.
So your tour will happen after that, I guess. Or
so we're going to do all the gigs that we've got up until September. I'm going to go away for an allotted period. I don't know what yet, and then I'm going to come back, and then we're going to hit it really hard after Christmas. Because
like September will be here before you know it. Like, you know, we're almost halfway through this year. It's nuts.
It's bonkers, man. Like, I can't believe where I was to where I am now at the moment. It's nuts. Like,
we had 2 years which felt like they were never ending. And now this year is just kind of going like really fast. It's so ridiculous.
But yeah, I don't want to like regale with the loads of stories from Thailand or anything. All I'll say is it was fucking amazing. It was much needed. I came off a scooter. I did absolutely everything that you meant to do and not meant to do. And it was fantastic.
Say no more, say no more.
None of that. But yeah, I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, you got a few tattoos, didn't you?
Oh, not the tattoo. I got.
Oh, yes, you got a scar from it.
So that took my tattoo out.
You're not allowed to cover that. You got to keep that.
I'm keeping that.
I don't. Can you tattoo over a scar?
Find out. Then I've got no hair on my legs here.
Why have you got no hair there?
Because I went across the pavement like that.
So is it you've got a scar on your leg as well?
Yeah. I can't get. I'd take my trousers off for you, but I don't think.
Do it. Take off your pants and jacket. Why not?
No, I can't. No, get nervous. What else? Yeah, I just want to talk more stuff about the band. So, like, we released that record, and we had. This is only digitally as well, and I think we'll pretty much sell out of all the vinyl.
Was it last Friday it came out, or the Friday before?
Last 22nd.
Yes, 2 weeks ago.
So here's the story for you. This is nuts. So while I was over there, like the biggest thing I wanted to do was go and visit some temples and just like experience some spirituality and all the rest of it.
Oh, have you found God?
Like, oh, fucking hell, yeah. It's in my pants. But I managed to go in Chiang Mai, traveled all the way up to a temple, got there. And like basically I was with a local guy, and he showed me how to, you go around and you get lotus flowers, you get incense. So is that what it's called? You know, when you light the ends? Yeah, incense. And you go around, you make an offering, you pay money, and then you can go and pray at all the different parts. And it's a big golden statue of the Buddha. And
like, I was Buddha, please make my album successful.
Wow. I think if you're going to do anything like that, you don't ask for yourself, you ask for other people. Yeah. So, but I went round, and there's a thing called Chinese, I think they're luck sticks or something like that. And they're all in these Buddhist temples. And what it is, I'll try and find a picture. It's a pot, and it's got, I don't know how many there are, maybe 50 sticks inside it. And you shake it like this.
Yeah, keep doing that.
One comes out. So I'm doing it. It's fucking not coming out. Like one.
We're in our late 30s, everyone.
And it says 22. And I was like, oh fucking hell. And Chris messaged me that day saying it's the 22nd of the 4th, 22 that the record comes out. And that was before me telling him. So I got this 22 out. But this isn't the funny part of the story. So I'm there, this 22's come out. And this guy I'm with is like, just because I'm feeling like a bit self-conscious, you know what I mean? There was no need to be, because after a while I realized, like, the one thing you don't need to be in Thailand is self-conscious, like, at all. As long as you're respectful, people will treat you with respect. It's incredible.
I mean, that should go with everyday life. They shouldn't, you know what I mean?
It should really. And like coming back to England, it was such a culture. Like, I know I'm only there for a month, but I come back and I'm like, fucking hell, people are miserable, man.
I mean,
fucking miserable.
I mean, I'm sure the fact that it's grey 90% of the time doesn't help.
Yeah, it does me in, man. Totally does me in. But yeah, so it says 22. But this guy's gone to me, just follow me around and do what I do. So as I've done this thing, I'm kneeling down like this. I'm kneeling down. So I've shook him out, and it says 22, and he goes, right, now, watch what I do. And I'm like, okay. And he does this. He goes, and I'm like, okay, so I do that 22 fucking times. No, in Buddhism, you do everything 3 times. So you go 1, 2, 3.
Hey, what made you think you're going to do it 22 times? Just because you got that
22 came out me thing. And I was like, I'm doing it 22 times.
All right.
So I'm there. I'm like, I've got a congregation of people behind me, like all, mega Buddhists. And I'm there going, right, I've got this nailed. So I'm going 1.
Tommy Travels is
2,
here.
3, 4, 5, 5.5. And all of a sudden I just feel this thing on my neck going like that. And I'm like, and I'm wearing, the tie line gear, which is like big pair of baggy pants, white linen top. So I'm the bollocks. So I'm there going,
were you wearing your Crocs? If you ever see Tom's Instagram,
they're not fucking Crocs.
They look like Crocs, mate. Those are Crocs.
Vans.
They're like
Vans.
Yeah, well, whatever. They're still. Anyway,
they saved my life. Anyway, so I'm there, and he's basically grabbed me and just pissing himself laughing, and everyone's just looking at me, and I'm going, "What the fuck have I done?" And he's grabbed me, and I'm like, he's like, "You do it 3 times, not 22." And then my nickname after that was 22. I was like, "You fucking okay." And every time he saw me, he was just laughing. He was going 22, and all the people behind me were laughing. I was like, "What are you gonna do?" But usually I'd like proper, you know, when you cringe yourself. But I was like, I'm trying my best there. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying my best.
It's all good. It's all good. You didn't harm. You're not hurting anyone, are you? It's not like
No. I was trying my best. No, I was trying my best. But yeah, did that. There were that many things that happened that, like, so we went to PP Island as well. So PP, for those that don't know, is where there's a place called Maya Bay, and Maya Bay is in the film The Beach.
Okay, yeah.
So that bay is throughout that. And funny enough, I found out that they didn't actually want to film it at Maya Bay. They wanted to film it at another cove where I went as well, which is just as beautiful. It's all beautiful. But Maya Bay has recently, no one has been allowed to go on Maya Bay for the last, I don't know, 3-4 years, not just because of COVID, but because basically it was rammed with people, rammed with what they call long tail boats. So they're all parked up on the beach, and like the native sharks, which are black tip reef sharks, pretty much completely wiped out, and all the coral there completely wiped out. So they stopped people going there. Because of COVID, though, people stopping going there, it's all coming back. You can now go and walk on the beach, but you can't swim in the water. But if you're off the beach and you've come so far and you're on a boat, you can jump in and swim and snorkel. We made a friend.
So you can swim onto the thing, but you can't swim off it. Is that what you're trying to say?
So basically, the first 200 meters, you are not allowed to swim in that part or go from the beach into it. If you're at a boat over there from the 200 meters, you can swim there. And there's like another little part that you can go to. Anyway, we made friends with these people, like 2 local Thai lads and his girlfriend. I've forgotten her name now. And they had a long-tail boat, and it was theirs. That was what they did. Like, that was their job. And we ended up getting a private hire boat for nothing with these 2 guys who were amazing, but blazed out of their eyeballs. Like, I didn't realize, and maybe this is my stupidity, it's a good job I'm not into weed, because it's the whole place is like Buffalo Soldier Zion.
Oh, really?
Train over, yeah, big style. So these 2 guys, one with long hair, basically took us on a private chartered thing around Maya Bay, where there was nobody there, all the coves where there was nobody there. And it's like, if you look at footage before the pandemic, those beaches and everything were thousands of people there. While I was there, though, you were walking on your own, and honestly, it was like being in paradise. So I was swimming like with all these fish, and like you could throw food in. And like another place I went to, Cowsep National Park, did the same thing, swam in the lake. Sam, Adam's friend, she's actually worked for the diving school, so I ended up going diving as well, which I wasn't very good at because I got claustrophobic, but it's still an amazing experience. Yeah, it was fucking fantastic. Sounds and I just want to, I don't know, I love everyone in Birmingham, but there's not really much in Birmingham for me anymore. So I'm like, I've got a little base here.
I was going to say, it usually is your base operation, and then you just kind of
yeah
come and go as you please. Well, like,
that's
if
pretty
you
much
can,
what
why
my
not?
plan is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, man. But I've missed, like, I've not really missed much apart from talking to my friends. That's about it, really. Yeah. So, what about you all? I've seen your video that came out that looks fucking amazing.
Which one?
So it is the Psychedelic Porn
Crumpets. My new Porn Crumpets video. Yeah, so that came out like last week, I think, or the week before. It's for a song called Acid Dent. And I mean, I was working on that for the whole of December, January, and February. Like 3 months solid, I pretty much worked on that. And I think they realized, before when they asked me to do claymation videos, they were like, it's out in 3.5 weeks. So, I'm killing myself to do a video in that time. But this one, I actually got to kind of just do it 9 to 5 and just kind of enjoy it and just kind of do it at my leisure. And then by the time I finished the video and delivered it to him, it didn't come out for another 5 weeks after that. So, it was, or even 6 weeks, which is weird because normally whenever I deliver a video to someone, it's like out within like the next day. Do you know what I mean? So, and like,
yeah, it's nuts.
but yeah, other than that, I started my own YouTube channel because like I booked another job while I was doing that video, but it wasn't till June, and it's for a fairly well-known band actually, and that's gonna be another.
Do you like to say who it is?
No, I won't say now, but that's gonna be another 3 to 4 month job. But like I have 3 months in which time to do. I can't really book any work because I don't know how long it'll take because I've got this job coming up. So I thought what I'll do is I'll start a YouTube channel and just make some dopey videos of me making claymation models.
They're wicked, man. I've been really enjoying them. I've got to watch the Turtles one that came out today.
I mean, my goal of it is because I watch a lot. Whenever I watch YouTube, it's generally just watching people make stuff or fixing things. And I love just seeing people, just like seeing the process of like people getting an old rusty car and then they bring it back to life, or do you know what I mean? Just doing stuff like that. So like I thought, well, what's my skill? I make claymation models and stuff. So there's Marty McFly.
Yay.
And so I build them on, my claymation armatures and stuff like that. And it's really hard trying to tell because people are like going, how do you get it dry? How do you get it to dry? And people don't understand that like once I've finished with this, I'll take this plasticine off. Like I'll just completely like this won't exist in like a couple of days time. And people find that really hard to fathom. But I'm like, well, I've made a video of it because this video will be coming out next week. So it'll exist in that form, do you know what I mean? And
could you not I suppose it's the material and it's the armature.
Well, I mean, this is made out of FIMO, which is just little FIMO which you bake. And there is a guy who's got a YouTube channel and he's called Clay Claim, and he does like Clay. I don't know, but he's got 3.5 million subscribers, and so he makes models, but at FIMO, so they last, but they're only like about yay big. So I thought, well, I'll just give it a go. And the other thing, what I'm going to do with the channel as well is document films that I make, like behind the scenes stuff, or like, making sets, or like, for example, I'm going to be helping you make a music video in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
And I thought it'd be fun if I document you making that video.
Oh, sick.
And I'll put it on like my channel or whatever. And
mate, I better do it well then, hadn't I?
I'm going to do it well because I'm helping you. I'm only joking.
I've got one on Tuesday if you want to come and hang out, man.
No, you said.
I'm really looking forward to it.
So yeah, I've got that going on. I mean, I'm not sure how I'm going to do the channel when I'm doing this music video. What I might try and do is I might just take 1 day off each week and work on my YouTube channel, and then 4 days working on the music video. I don't know, see how it goes.
Nice.
But yeah, so
you do need to like have a day where it's not just doing the same thing every day because you'll go spare.
But yeah, I've got a few videos on there. I've got like an introduction video. I've made Batman, Spider-Man, Marty McFly. Well, Marty's not on there yet. I did Raphael, Lara Croft. Who's the other one? Oh, I did Canada from
Canada.
Is it?
Is that how you say it?
I'm sure it's Canada. That's how they shout it, is it?
Yeah, no, that's about right. Yeah,
it is spelled Canada, but like that's how they.
Canada.
Yeah. That film is so good though.
Oh, amazing.
But yeah, other than that, I went on holiday actually a couple of weeks. Well, last week.
I was going to say, how was that?
Yeah, I mean, unlike you went for like 5 weeks. I only went for 4 days. I only went to.
I thought you were there for a week.
No. Went to Crete in Greece. The little island.
Man.
And it was really nice. I mean, it was a proper middle-aged holiday. It was an all-inclusive one, so we're in this kind of like, so it's an enclosed kind of a hotel that was kind of like 5 tiers, like levels, and you can kind of walk all around. There's swimming pools everywhere. You've got the beach at the end. You've got like several bars on the site. You've got several restaurants that you can go to, and it's all included with what you pay, like the price you pay. And like, especially with COVID and stuff going on, we thought, well, we're fine not going out and venturing in there. We're just happy to spend a couple of days just literally lounging around here and just kind of enjoying
Sounds
ourselves.
all right,
So
man.
we just, I mean, I'm not really like, I think you're a bit more of a person who likes the sun and kind of going outside. I'm definitely an indoor kind of person. Like the sun does not, I don't fare well in the sun. I'm quite pasty, quite pale. So, but like it was nice. We went on the beach and we befriended. Like if you ever watched like comedy films, like when a character goes on holiday, they always end up befriending the weird guy that is in charge of like the boats or like the swimming, the snorkeling and stuff like that. So like the forgetting
character of the film.
No, like they're like. Have you ever seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Okay, yeah.
And you got Paul Rudd's character, and he's kind of like the cool kind of like guy that's in charge of teaching people how to snorkel and stuff like that. So So we befriended that guy, and like in the mornings when he was like setting up, he'd let me get on his boat and he'd drive me around the sea and everything like that. And as he did his
was he
rounds,
grooming you?
No, he wasn't. He was younger than me, so I don't think that's possible.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm finding that funny.
But yeah, it was a nice holiday, really nice. Had a good time.
Oh,
The only
man,
thing
that's
is,
wicked.
I hate traveling. Now, I don't mind flying. Flying doesn't bother me. It's just sitting there for like hours doing fuck all. Like I hate it. Like I literally hate it. And like you can't get comfortable on a plane. I think it's impossible.
I agree with that.
And like, and if it's like if I'm going somewhere, I like to just go and I'll like, but I hate just having to sit and wait for the plane and then sit on the plane and you have to wait for it to leave. And then you have to wait for the coach to pick you up to take you to the hotel. And you have to, I'm just impatient. I think that's what it was. I say I'm impatient. I'm not. I just hate doing that bollocks. It's like, if I go to London, I'd rather drive myself to London than get a coach or a train because you've got to wait for the train or wait for the coach and all this kind of stuff. I'd rather be in my own car and do I don't know. I hate traveling. But not for the reasons why.
I like the train. I love the train.
No, train's all right. Train's okay. But it's still the whole waiting for the train. And then normally I have to get another train to get back to Sutton. And then I've got to then think, do I walk back home? Because then I've got a 2.5 mile walk, or do I have to get another bus or another? And it's like non-stop traveling. And I was just like, oh. If I'm in my car, it's just that one. I don't have to stop and wait. And anyway, middle-aged rant over.
No, that's all right. Well, I'm going down to Brighton for a few days next week, and I'm like, do a drive there. And I've never driven down to Brighton yet.
It's not a bad drive
For work.
It's quite.
No, I'm not bothered about the drive. I'm just like, for some reason, I find it really, I don't know, therapeutic sitting on a train. Like,
train to Brighton's all right. I don't mind that.
It's nice. It's like you go straight down to London, you go across, you go from Houston to whatever it is. Yeah, one of them. And then you jump on that train to Brighton, and the actual train to Brighton's. Yeah. So it's Victoria, Houston, or Houston.
I think something like that anyway.
But yeah, I really enjoy because I write loads of lyrics on the train as well. Look, I write pretentious little arsehole. So I just sit there and just like red, head, bed, dead, and then like try and make them all fit. But I really enjoy that. But I wanted to take some camera gear down with me this time, so I might drive down. I don't know.
What have you not filmed it? Is this for the band? I'm assuming.
Yeah. So
tell your drummer to come up here.
Well, I'm going to speak to you actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Would you help me? Because we basically need a music video. I'm going to edit it all and everything, but I can't shoot myself.
Okay.
Well, I could.
So when's this then?
I'm going to speak to them this weekend.
Okay. Yeah, I'll help
this weekend coming.
I'll help you.
Ooh, I love you.
Is it just a simple kind of like performance one then, or?
No, we want you to animate us. In what was Akira done in? Was it like
24 frames a second hand?
24 frames a second hand animation, if you don't mind, please.
Now, this is what you say is, I want to be hand drawn. Chris wants to be claymation. Other wants to be puppet. Another wants to be.
I'm definitely the puppet.
The Muppet.
I'm the Muppet, definitely the Muppet, man. But yeah, I think I've had an idea because I'm shooting a video on Tuesday, which is all projections.
That sounds cool. I've always wanted to do that.
So it's basically the band sent me over some stuff they had made, which are like, in the 70s, like they used to get oils, put them on like a thing, and then they'd use a mirror to project it onto a wall. I can't remember what that's called. But they had some of those like made for them. And I was like, well, what can we do with it? And I was thinking, okay, I'm thinking projections. And at the moment, after we've done this pod, I'm going to be editing some bits and pieces together to project onto the band. But I also, today, I thought, fuck it, I'm going all in. So I bought a smoke machine because I thought, like, with a like when you do projections, you need something to project against, and that.
Well, I tell you what looks rad. Like, you don't have the smoke just blaring out. You put the smoke machine on, so you get that nice haze. Then when you get the beams of light, you get that wicked, subtle smoke that just kind of, it's just, you can't even see it in the naked eye, but in the light you can see it kind of.
This is what I'm thinking. So you've got that, like, that 3D element to it. So you've got that, yeah. Do you know what I always think of when I think of that? I always think of the first scene in Aliens.
Oh yeah.
And it's got that.
Well, it's like whenever they do like bullet holes, and then the light shines through the bullet holes. Like that Korn video, the one where the bullets like.
Oh God!
Traveling around.
Is it Life is Peachy? Or
no, it's Freak on a Leash. No, that one, because Todd McFarlane like directed that or something, didn't he? The Todd father,
didn't he? It's really good as well. It is a good video. The artwork to that was done by Todd McFarlane as well, wasn't it? The actual
and Greg Capullo. Well, no, I think Greg Capullo drew it, I think, and he may have inked it. Speaking of bands, though, today the drummer of the Locust passed away.
Locust, man.
Yeah, I mean,
man, did you see the Locust back in the day?
Yeah, I saw them quite a few times. I mean, they're a band that I probably don't really listen to much these days. I kind of, as I'm getting older, I find it a lot harder to listen to kind of like really insane spazzy stuff. But like when I was a kid, I absolutely adored the Locust. They were awesome. If you have never listened to the Locust, people who listen to this, they're a band that kind of dressed up. There was like 3 or 4 of them. They dressed up in, I'd say they kind
Locust
of
outfits,
mesh kind of masks and stuff like that. And I remember the
sort of looked like Power Rangers.
Yeah, the putties, like cheap putty patrol guys, like looks a bit naff but kind of cool. And they had like an album that was like probably 20 minutes long, but it'll have about 40 songs on it. And like they had titles like The Half-Eaten Sausage Would Like to See You in His Office.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And I saw them at the Medicine Bar and some other places and stuff like that. I think they were meant to be playing a show fairly soon.
They're meant to be playing Art Tangent.
That's it, yeah. So
that's gutted, to be honest, because like that drummer is also in Holy Molar and
what's the other...
Decapitation.
That's it.
Yeah, so they were wicked, man. Also live, his drumming.
Oh yeah,
just, like, he used to have this ride cymbal that was probably about as thick as that, and like they were fantastic. Like I can't listen to my record anymore. Like on my stories that I do religiously every day, because
you're pretty good at doing that. I'm terrible at it.
I find it amusing. It's not going to get me any work, and it's definitely not interesting.
No, don't say that. Like my friend, James, who's been on this podcast. He's recently now, George Romero, the guy who directed like Dawn of the Dead and stuff. I mean, obviously he's passed away now, but James has now become his social media guy.
No way.
So like, doing these kinds of things, if you're good at it, it could pay off in, you could.
Well, you've seen my stories. I'm not good at it.
You are good at it. You better. I'm terrible. Caroline's always telling me how shit I am at social media. You should be so much better. You'd do so much better with your career if you were good at social media. I'm like, but I don't know how to be good at it.
I tell you what, with the band, I don't know how. Well, I do know how. Like Chris has got a following, like the drummer, obviously, is in TTNG. But we passed 3,000 likes on Instagram the other day.
In terms of what, followers or
followers? And we followed 31 people.
That's good, man.
And I've just watched it happen, and I was like,
how many of these are like Sexy Felicity 1112234, and then you click on their profile and it's like,
oh mate, all of them.
It's just those fake profiles. I mean,
Felicity. And,
but math rock people eat this kind of shit up, and I mean that in a the
best way,
like
Oh, sorry, scratching.
Oh,
There we go. Did you hear that then?
I love watching videos on YouTube of people getting their backs clipped, and I don't know if they put the mic like against the spinal web, but the proper
Dude,
crunch you hear of people getting their backs.
That's the other thing, and this isn't happy endings. I'm not talking happy ending massages before anyone makes any comments. I had a massage every day. Every day while I was away. It cost me £4, and like it's not like we're soapy fucking gonna lovey-dovey massage you. It's full on gonna break your body,
like a sports massage.
It's called a traditional Thai massage. They do it with your clothes on, and they also do it like with a towel, or like you can get dressed into these. I wanted to keep them. I did. It's like, I don't know, baggy sort of linen shit. But anyway, they basically use their elbows. They use their whole bodies and just fucking nail into you. And like the one that I had, this tiny Thai woman, like old girl, and she's just like, right now, relax. And I'm like, okay. Just put a fucking hands in between here. So I'm like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like this. I'm like, she's gonna do shit. Like tiny. All of a sudden, she's just gone, "Wah!" And my whole spine just went, and I was like, oh my god, it was amazing.
So you felt like the pressure just come off you?
Yeah, I was walking around like Mr. Soft. It was amazing. When she did my neck as well.
Anyone younger than 30 won't understand that reference, I don't think.
Did you really?
No. Like that advert used to creep me out. He had like a really creepy face.
Yeah. Like this one. Where were we going with that anyway? So yeah,
we were talking about the locust, and then we went on to body massaging for some reason.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Talking about the locust, and like genuinely, it did upset me a bit today because the guy was actually like, I think he was 43.
Yeah, he's not much older than us, really.
And he's like amazing artist, amazing drummer, and like genuinely, sincerely, I'm absolutely gutted for his family.
Yeah.
And like having that band who were one of like the bands for us growing up.
Yeah,
you know
definitely.
what I mean? Like Isaac and me, and
Isaac had like
us and Nathan.
Isaac's got the logo tattooed on his leg. You know, the kind of with the one
wing.
He
messaged me today.
Did he?
Like I haven't heard of him for ages. He was like, "Fuck, he's dying," and I was like, "Shit, yeah, no, that sucks." But yeah. So might try and listen to a bit of Locust in the car. We'll see how long I can get on with it. But it's more of a live thing for me nowadays.
Yeah, like do you remember who's the main guy? What's his name? In the Locust?
JP, Justin Pearson.
Do you remember when he was on Jerry Springer?
Yeah.
And like he came up with this fake bullshit story where he was like, he took his girlfriend on and then said he was having sex with his girlfriend's brother or something like that, and then they all came out and then they all just started beating each other up. It's good stuff.
Oh, it was wicked, that was. But like Nathan and Biff, who used to play in Beastung, they got quite pally with some of that lot. All the what's the name of the record label? 31G.
Yeah.
And apparently Justin Pearson, the one day, and I don't know what the truth in this is, like they put their band on, and I can't remember which one it was. It was probably Some Girls, but either we played with them or someone else played with them.
Some Girls were good. I like Some Girls.
Some Girls are wicked.
Yeah.
Like and he went on to do that band Cold Cave as well, the guy with one hand. He's a wicked singer, man. But yeah, Justin Pearson's backstage, and like the promoters going, so we've organized you some food. Is this going to be okay? And he's like, I don't give a fuck as long as it's vegan. It's like, oh man, okay, well, whatever. Cool, dude. Cool story, bro.
I remember hanging out with. Did you go to the Pig Destroyer show at Eddie's, like back in like
where his mic broke and he was screaming over the top of it and you could hear his voice?
Yeah, it's the one.
Yeah.
I think
I wasn't there. I was meant to put it on with Russell and Gaz.
Well, if it was the same show that Mistress supported them, I think.
Yeah, it was.
And they all ended up staying back at Isaac's, and I went back, and it was just very bizarre.
That's the same as Eugene from Oxbow, who was masturbating in his living room, apparently.
Who's Isaac's?
Yeah.
Well, they became quite pally, didn't they? I think
Yeah.
Isaac. I have a feeling Isaac went to stay with him when they.
Yeah, I think
Because
maybe.
Isaac's foot knuckle. Well, he played like some. Because Isaac's like foot
See-
knuckle stuff somehow like took off in terms of like a lot of people listen to it in like those kind of avant-garde doomy kind of circles, and he ended up playing like a show in Seattle. Like he played like 2 shows in Birmingham. That was it. But then his next show, I'm going to Seattle and playing this like all day
That's
festival.
like
It's like fair
fucking-
fucking play. Went
This
by
wicked,
himself
man.
and just like for a guy that can't really play the guitar, and he's just there going. They're making
But
some
that's
noises that he
Sun
kind
and
of
all of
loops.
those, like Sun and fucking all those doom bands. Carnate, well, Carnate can play, but
Sun were
yeah.
good. I like Sun.
yeah, they're all right. Yeah, I mean, for me, out of all that lot, and it's not doom, but I love it. Is Wolf Eyes, and that's
Mm.
just noise. And when you see them live, it's like watching a rock band because they're like got these instruments they've made, and they look like they're playing AC/DC songs, but all you can hear is. It's like fuck, what's going on here? But I'm gutted, fucking fuming actually, because various things going on in my life. I've not really looked at the internet or been part of anything recently, apart from getting the fuck out of Birmingham. I didn't realise Shellac were playing this weekend, and they played last night at Desert Fest.
What?
Yeah, and Electric Wizard as well.
What?
I know, yeah.
Oh man.
Fuming, or was it Burning Witch? One of the two.
Well, I
Electric
know.
Wizard or
I don't
Burning
know.
Witch.
I don't know if you know
think
the
it's
OCs. They're playing this weekend.
They've got aluminium guitars like this one.
Yes.
Hey!
But they're playing this weekend, so I'm going to go and watch them. But I'm annoyed. I did not know Electric Wizard or Shellac were playing. That's an actual. I'm
It's
actually
wounded,
gutted.
I'm gutted as well, and I don't know when the next time they're going to play is, so I'm not very happy about that.
It's like
But yeah,
I remember years ago, I went to go and see this comedian called Tim Key, and my friend bought me. My friend like really wants me to go, so I went to go and see him. But he also knew that I'm a big fan of this band called Le Savvy Fav.
mate,
And he
I know the
purposely didn't
stories.
tell me that they were playing the same night because he wanted me to go to this fucking comedy night. And I was like, if
Yeah.
I knew Le Savvy Fav were playing, I would have gone and seen Le Savvy Fav.
I saw them about 3 times, man, and they were fantastic every time.
Can I
I
imagine?
saw him at ATP, and he was dressed in a teddy bear costume. I was spinning out my mind, so he might not have been, but he was just in like
Maybe
a teddy
you were wearing a
bear
teddy bear costume.
I was wearing a teddy bear costume while trying to get in the bin that I thought was my chalet, and that's pretty much a true story, apart from I wasn't in a teddy bear costume. But yeah, so there were loads of like plastic tables at the back of the room that you could imagine they'd set out for the bingo, because it's like a Butlins holiday camp. The Savvy Fav playing. He's come out dressed as a fucking bear, being like a just badass, like ran to the back of the room. And then the next thing, we're like, what the fuck is going on? And he's above the crowd like this. So he set up one table, and we're like, wicked. And then he's like, instructed people to basically, there's 3 tables. Let me get this right. And he's got to get back, say 200 or 300 feet back to the stage. So he's on one table. Someone sets up another table in front of him.
What? So as
Another
he's running,
table.
they're putting them in front of
Yeah,
him.
yeah, putting him in front of him. And he gets to the fucking stage. So he's getting the one from the back and putting it to the front. And I just remember watching it, just going, I think this is why I like music. This is incredible. And I think it was a couple of years afterwards. Then the Jesus Lizard played. Fucking hell. My God.
Were these one of
That
the
was-
ones that were at Butlins or whatever?
Butlins,
Yeah.
ATP, man. And I always remember, because like,
You know what I loved about ATP was when when you're in the chalets, they had the ATP like TV channel, and you could
so good.
like there was one I
Killer
went,
Clowns from Outer Space was
Yeah.
on the one, yeah.
the one I watched when they had Turkish Star Wars on. If you haven't seen Turkish Star
No,
Wars,
I've
it's
not seen
nuts.
it.
Like so, basically, like these guys in Turkey would make like Turkish Star Wars, Turkish Batman, Turkish Superman.
Delight.
And they'd get footage from the films and cut them in, and it's usually the same Turkish film that they use to create a story around. It's really bizarre how they do it. It's bonkers, and it only helps if you're on drugs or alcohol to really like enjoy it. If you try and watch them sober, you probably don't quite jive with it as much. But
Well, that Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I've obviously every ATP, because I was off my tits at all of them. But I watched that Killer Clowns from Outer Space and it terrified the life out of me. You know that film, don't you?
Yeah, but it's like it's a PG, you know. It's not like an 18
fucking
or horror
PG.
film. But it is weird.
Hiding in the cupboard. Anything with like clowns that look like they're gonna bite your dick off. I'm not.
Clowns are fucking. I tell you what, I'm watching on Netflix at the moment. It's like a documentary series on John Wayne Gacy.
Oh, John Wayne Gacy tapes.
Yeah. And like in the second one, they kind of get into like his Pogo the Clown, and he just
sick.
And he just looks terrifying. Like
not sick, literally sick.
Yes.
But like, what does he say? Because I only watched the little advert. You know, when you scroll past and it's like, I was like, fuck this. I can't be hacking this. But he says something in it. He's like, I won't go down for any of this, because he was friends with loads of politicians.
Oh yeah, he kind of purposely like befriended like all these kind of higher ups, because he was he had like a construction business, and like what he did was he hired lots of young men to work for him. Not like he didn't get people who were kind of qualified in like construction and stuff like that.
Jesus.
And obviously he's like, it's very bizarre. Like, you know, he was obviously hated himself in some respects, because like he was always like, he was married and stuff like that, but he claimed he wasn't gay, and he'd say I'm bisexual, but that's not homosexual. Like, so like like if you love another man and you're a man, then that's bad. But as long as there's no affection and you can have sex.
What is this like in?
This is like the way he kind of
when he goes, when he says, "Fucking," what is it? Fucking girls is for queers. What does he say in it? It's
What's
really
this?
fucking.
What's this in?
For gays? I'm sure it's Rock and Roller.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, and it's just like the way he kind of justifies his kind of like trying to. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with being gay, like, but you know, obviously he hated himself, but then was compelled to kind of do this like horrible shit and stuff. I do find serial killer stuff quite fascinating, though. It's like bonkers. Like,
well, if you look at Kemper and you look at oh god, what's the one?
He was the guy who poured acid in kids' brains and stuff like that. Dahmer.
That's who I was.
Yeah,
Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, he's nuts, because they could have caught him about 3 times, because the boy actually left the flat.
Yeah, and they took him back.
They took him back. Here you go. Get back in there. Yeah, oh.
Where's Max? Is he going to come in? Is he going to make an appearance?
Oi! I think he's waiting for me, my dad.
Oh, there he is. I can see him. So,
sausage.
Have you actually have you been reading or watching or playing anything recently? Or?
Playing with myself and that little thing there. What are you doing? Look at him. You going there? You going back? Sorry, this is the most thrilling podcast ever. Let's see what Max does. Max, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, come on. Yeah, he's back.
The mascot.
I read Billy Connolly's autobiography.
Oh yeah,
that was really fun, really good.
If you read it in, what's he going through now? Has he got Parkinson's or something?
Got Parkinson's, yeah. And the menopause. I don't know why when you said going through, I was like, is it the menopause? No, he's got Parkinson's.
Well, and, do you remember he was in the last Hobbit film, The Battle of Five Armies?
Yeah.
But what I don't understand is in the behind the scenes stuff, you see him wearing the costume and costume fitting and stuff. But in the actual film, he's completely computer CGI. I don't understand. Like, there's not one shot of him in the film that's the real Billy Connolly. So I don't know what was going on there.
Because they made him a dwarf.
Yeah, but they did that with John Rhys Davis. They didn't CGI John Rhys Davis, did they? So I didn't know if there's anything in the book.
Isn't John Rhys Davis?
John Rhys Davis was Gimli in The Fellowship and all those ones.
Did they do it by forced perspective with him, though?
Yes, they had to. Yeah, so they had him for like the close-ups and stuff, and then they had like a little actor that kind of.
A little actor.
No, don't start. I was watching the last one. You laughing at Peter Dinklage.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Right.
It's a good book, though.
It was really good. Max agrees. Sorry. It was really good. And like read it to myself in his voice. So like I just found myself falling asleep after 2 pages. But what was I going to say? Yeah, so he's got Parkinson's. But the sad thing is, obviously, he's been a banjo player his entire life.
Oh yeah, because he was part of that 70s lot of comedians, like I guess Jasper Carrot as well. They kind of did folky kind of comedy, didn't they?
That's it, man. And basically, he was talking about that, and he took up art. And I don't know if you've seen any of his art. It's fantastic. It's all sort of just like biro, or what's the word for it? Fountain pen sketches.
Okay,
like, really, have a look if you get a chance. I really love them. Because obviously you've got to take into account that his hands are not what they once were, but like what he does is amazing.
He was a good stand-up as well. Like he's
one of the best.
Yeah.
What are you doing on massage? This is a Thai massage on Max.
Any films or anything you've been watching or anything? Or
films? Do you know what I want to see, but I haven't been asked to go and watch it? Go on, fuck.
What's that?
Down there. Go on, jump. Down. See you in a bit. Just gonna stand there now. What have I watched? I haven't watched very much, but I want to see the new Batman film.
It's good, man. I really enjoyed it.
Did you actually enjoy it, or are you saying that because you like Batman?
No, honestly, I really like, in terms of visuals, it's one of the best looking Batman films. It looks amazing. Like the world they've built for that film is like brilliant. It's like, you know how Tim Burton did like his kind of fantastical kind of Gotham, and then I mean, I love the Christopher Nolan Batman films, but like his city was just a city. Do you know what I mean? It was just Chicago, whatever. This they kind of filmed in Liverpool and Glasgow, and that was their what are you pointing at? Oh, what's he? Oh no,
Max, just get out of shot, dude. And it's off.
But yeah, like it felt like a real lived-in world, and it's always raining and stuff like that. It just looked fantastic. The lighting, and use a lot of shallow depth of field for the shots and stuff like that. It just looked really nice, and I love the aesthetic looks of the characters. And I thought each of the actors portrayed their characters really, really well. The only thing I would say is the plot thinks it's clever than it actually is. So it's like it's the first time they've actually done a full-on detective Batman story in a kind of feature film. He's done detective work before in other films, but this is like fully like detective. And it's not like it's trying to be like Seven and things like that a little bit, but you know, and
I got that vibe from just the adverts.
Oh yeah, like massively. And to an extent, yeah, and a bit of Saw as well, I guess. But and I wouldn't say the story's fine, but the actual main plot of like the Riddler is not groundbreaking. I think the stories in Batman Begins.
Oh, I didn't realize it was about the Riddler.
Yeah, it's the Riddler. But it is good, don't get me wrong, and I think the music is fantastic. Like Michael Giacchino's score is awesome. And I think
does Jim Carrey make an appearance?
No. Like the jacket, it keeps me safe while I'm jogging. You did watch Metal Lords, which I want to watch. Was that good?
I thought that was absolutely. I forgot about that. I'm glad you reminded me. Yeah, so Metal Lords, when it first started, because I didn't read the like synopsis or anything to do with it, I was just like, right, it's called Metal Lords, so I'm in. So I stuck it on, and for the first 5 minutes, I thought it was set in the 80s, but it's not. It's set now, but there's 2 kids who look like they're from the 80s. I won't spoil it for you, but it's a really feel good film, but without being shit and cheesy. It's really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. I think it'll be one of your new favorite films.
Really? Okay. Because I think we talked about it last time, but I watched that Lords of Salem or whatever? No.
Lords of Dogtown?
No, the one about the mayhem.
I was going to say For When the Light Takes Us.
What's it?
The documentary. Lords of Chaos.
Lords of Chaos. That was terrible. That film.
Lords of Chaos.
It was
and
like,
it's got what's his name in?
It's Rory Culkin.
That's Culkin.
And like I kept watching it, going, like I knew it was Rory Culkin, and I was thinking, it reminds me of someone.
It reminds me of someone.
And I was like, it's Macaulay Culkin, isn't it? And I'm like, no, it's not Macaulay Culkin. And I'll be watching it again. It is Macaulay Culkin. That's who it reminds. Like,
Yeah.
but like his accent was terrible.
Oh, it was awful. Like that film, I only liked it because it pissed every black metal fan off in the world, and I thought that was quite good. I thought that was quite entertaining, to be honest. There was some like the bits with death in it as well, when he's like taking his skull off. And I think what was nice about that film, although it was dreadful, is the fact that they made it as silly as it actually was.
I mean, yeah, like the shit they were doing was childish, but it just had serious consequences. Like, for people who don't know, it's basically about the band Mayhem and their original singer dead, who kind of kills himself. And then they get another singer who's in his own band called is it Burzum?
Burzum, yeah.
Yeah. And
well,
then
he starts Burzum, doesn't he?
Yeah, and then he was the bass. He became the bassist, didn't he, in Mayhem?
Mayhem.
And him and the main guy, the main guitarist, they kind of butt heads, don't they? And then he ends up like stabbing him, like in self-defense, like 122 times or something. Like
yeah, it's nuts.
Man. And then another member of the band or the crew, just the people that hang around with, that killed a gay guy.
I think he might have been a member of the band, but they were doing church burnings and everything. And
like they contacted they were such idiots. They contacted like the press to say, yeah, we were the ones who burnt down the churches and killed this guy or whatever. And this guy's going around taking pictures of them as they're like posing, like doing all their like metal hand poses and shit like that.
It is quite mad that people now do that, and it's like seen as cool. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know, like that whole aesthetic. And that, don't get me wrong, because I actually enjoy some black metal. Like, I really like Dark Throne.
Yeah.
But like some of the connotations, like Burzum, man. I've listened to Burzum. I've also listened to G.G. Allen, and I have to say, like, now not being a teenager and looking back at what I was actually listening to and realizing.
I was gonna say, you wouldn't consider G.G. Allen like death metal, though. That was more like black
metal.
Thrash.
Like,
I thought G.G. Allen was more like thrash punky stuff, wasn't he? I don't know.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about the connotations of the actual person behind the music. So like, the guy from Burzum, I've forgotten his name, but he's actually like massively into white power and stuff like that. And you get people walking around with Burzum t-shirts. And okay, if you can separate that from the music and you're okay with that. But it's a fine line, man. I don't know if I can anymore. I'm just like, fuck that guy.
The art and the artist thing is a really hard thing. Like, do you know what I mean? To kind of, it's like, I mean, I know
Marilyn Manson. Do I learn on my Marilyn Manson shit now?
I mean, like, I was chatting to my friend Joe about this, and he's like, well, look, if you're into the music before all this stuff came out, you shouldn't let it, this is his words, you shouldn't let it ruin your enjoyment of that music. But if you were, say, to get into that band now, knowing what you know, then that's a bit different. It's like,
I still couldn't listen to Lost Prophets.
I couldn't listen to them when they were a fucking band, to be fair. But like,
what about?
But I like bands like, I mean, you probably hate it, but one of my favorite bands is a band called Brand New. I really like them. They're kind of pop punky stuff. And I just enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? But their singer kind of got outed, didn't he, of like getting with younger girls when he was a bit, in his 20s, when the girls were probably like 14 and stuff like that. And it's all a bit icky. And it's like even like people like Morrissey. I like the Smiths a lot. I think the Smiths were great, but like Morrissey's a complete bell end, and it's like it kind of taints the music. Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah. And
like Earthworm Jim, I love Earthworm Jim, but the guy who created Earthworm Jim,
Ren and Stimpy,
exactly. They're complete arseholes, and they're like homophobes, or like the guy who created Ren and Stimpy is like, if you haven't watched that documentary, you need to watch that Ren and Stimpy.
I've watched that. It's so good.
And it's like he knows what he's done, but it's like, and I'm really surprised that he's actually in that documentary as much as he is, like, and he's kind of almost admitting to it, but never apologizing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's weird. But like, yeah, the Marilyn Manson stuff is shit. Apparently, the Marilyn Manson's bassist has now joined the Deftones.
No way.
Not Twiggy.
I was going to say, because he had like allegations.
More than allegations, I think. But no, they got this guy called Fred something or other, and he took over from Twiggy. But he's now the bassist in the Deftones, because there's a whole thing with the Deftones and their bassist, because obviously Chi Cheng died. Then they got the guy from Quicksand, Sergio Vega.
Who I thought was great.
He was wicked, man. And like a lot of people slagged off the album Gore because he was playing this weird bass that was like 5-string bass, but it was more like an acoustic bass. I don't know if it's, I'm not really clued up like you are with
So fretless sort of.
Yeah, and a lot of people didn't like it, the sound of it. I thought it sounded awesome, but and I thought he brought a lot to the band, but I think he was never ever officially a proper member of the band. He was just a member for hire. So every time they did the new album, they would hire him for the album and tour. But I think he never kind of got full royalty rights for what he was part of and stuff like that. But you know, if that's what you sign up for, then you shouldn't expect anything else. But like, it's a shame that he was never considered a full member. But but I guess maybe they were still reeling from Chi Cheng and stuff like that. And I think sometimes maybe the band not necessarily don't have a say in these matters. Like, you know, once lawyers and things like that get involved and they know that another person will join the band who will then get a cut of this, it's like less money to go around for everyone then. So they probably don't want that. And it gets all quite messy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
As soon as lawyers get involved in anything, things are just...
Do you know what's kind of cool? Like you were just mentioning the bassist thing, and I was just thinking about Some Kind of Monster with Metallica when they get what's his name in from I've forgotten the name of the band now.
Well, he's in Suicidal Tendencies, the guy.
Suicidal Tendencies.
No, not Suicidal Tendencies. He was in the band with Suicidal Tendencies. Was he in Suicidal Tendencies?
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
I know he was in Ozzy's band. Trejo. No, not what's his name?
Yeah, that guy.
No, but what's Infectious Grooves? I think he was in.
Okay.
Which was the Suicidal Tendencies singer was in that band, and they were kind of did like funky punk kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, all I was going to say was I remember like when they go like, you're in the band, and to make it real, we're going to give you $1 million right here, right now, and he's like, oh, amazing. And they're like, and we're going to give you a percentage. It's only going to be a tiny percentage, but we'll give you. And he's like, yeah, rad. I watched because it's on. It's
on Netflix, I think.
It's on Netflix, and there's like an additional documentary that goes with it now because they made that new film.
Oh, I need to see that.
And it's basically about them making that. And he talks to the camera, obviously now, like it's all been done and everything. And he's talking about that bit where he's like, you got $1 million. He already knew he was in the band. He'd gone out the night before with Lars, and they'd got smashed. And like, you can imagine Lars just like, man, you're joining the fucking band, dude. Like the Joker, you're joining the band. And like, he was just, and apparently in that scene where he's actually like trying out for the band, the t-shirt he's wearing is Lars Ulrich's t-shirt. So they've been out on the piss the night before, but I thought that was quite interesting.
I mean, a lot of documentaries you watch are kind of all a bit fabricated. Like, there's that documentary Catfish. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, and they made a series out.
Like half of that is like they only decided to film that documentary halfway through this whole ordeal, so they went back and reshot stuff. And like, the only documentary I'm hoping is completely legitimate is American Movie, because that's my favorite documentary.
Oh god, it's so good.
If I know, like, the thing is though, once you put a camera in front of someone,
they act differently.
It's gonna be slightly different. But like, that documentary is. Did I ever tell you when I tried to buy that off eBay and I thought I bought the DVD of it?
And what was it?
I'll show you. I ended up buying a bubble jet inkjet printout.
I remember that coming. I remember that happening. And you were like, oh.
Look at it. It's not even been in the sun, but look how faded it's got.
Jesus.
I was like, this turned up and I was thinking, what the fuck? And then when I tried to look for the DVD, it's like out of print and it's like £100+ now if you want to buy that fucking film.
You know, I got a haircut the other day and I think I need to get it done again.
Speaking of haircuts, I've got a few things to show you that I've bought. So
nice.
Like, I'm losing my hair now. So I've bought.
Where's it go?
Well, it's under here at the moment still. But if you look at the top, man, look at that. Oh, it's shocking.
I'm completely grey here and like all around here.
There's nothing wrong with that, man. That's just distinguished. But like, so I've invested in some.
What, are you shaving it?
I'm shaving all my hair off.
I think you look good, man.
Yeah, I mean, my sister said I look like a paedophile. I don't know. I hope I don't.
Do paedophiles, are they bald?
This is what I don't think. I thought pedophiles had little like the Sparks
Like the
moustache.
Like when I grow mine.
But
shave my head and
but yeah, you could,
get that
if you want,
on the go.
You can document me shaving my hair if you want.
I'd like to do that actually.
But we could do some fun things first. We could do it. We could do the Mohican.
Remnants?
The Remnants.
Does it say are they Remington? Oh,
yeah, it's Remington.
I thought it said remnants for a minute. Remove the remnants of your youth. Oh,
I've got some other
the
things.
phones going.
I picked up. I don't like. I've sold like half of my toy collection, but like a crazy person, I'm still buying more. So I picked up McCready from.
Oh, that's so good.
Thing. And like, if you want, like, I wanted his hat, but you have to buy the figure again. That doesn't come with these little flamethrower, but it comes with a hat and a gun. But it's the exact same figure, and I was just so annoyed. And then this is a great one. I picked up Quint from Jaws.
I like that one.
Can take off his hat if you want.
Can you take off his pants and
He's
jacket?
got more hair than I have. Yeah, you can. Look, check this out. So, I never thought. Who's it played? Quint. What's his name? Mine's gone.
Oh, there.
Rob's gonna kill me. But
That guy.
Anyway, you can see how like you can undo his. You can strip Quint if you want. It's pretty cut, man. Look at those abs.
Yeah, but I'm not bothered about his abs. Has he got a cock?
I've never actually pulled down his pants.
You've never pulled him off.
Oh, he's got a bum.
He's got a nubbin. Ah, look at his little bum.
Things are taking a turn.
Wait there, I haven't got any toys anymore. I need things to undress. I might just have to get undressed myself.
I've also got. I picked up a Toxic Avenger or Crusader. I got.
Oh, sick.
I got Junkyard.
Junkyard Dog.
Yeah, I think I kind of want to get all these now.
They're so cool.
I'm gonna have to steal yours from you.
You can have them, mate. You can have them. If you help me with this video, you can have them.
And then I've got some films if you want to see what films I've picked up. So,
let's have a look.
Got Annette, which is
nice.
It's like a musical. It's a Sparks musical.
I
know you love your musicals, don't you?
Love them.
Shin Godzilla. I haven't seen this, but I do. I'm looking forward.
I've got that.
This. Is it good?
It's really good. Yeah.
I'm interested to watch that. I've seen this though, but Prince of Darkness, a John Carpenter classic.
Oh yeah.
Now I've never seen either of these. So I've got Suspiria.
Okay, the original.
But then I've also got the remake.
Oh, nice. With Tom.
So Tom York does the music in that, and Goblin's on this one. So like, I love Goblin. So yeah, I also love Tom York as well. So
yeah, I think I was hammered when I watched both of those. So
got Midsummer, which I have seen. I think we talked about it in one of our lockdown.
Yeah, it's
pods.
brilliant, man.
I love that film. I also picked up. Talking about separating art from artists, I picked up The Color Out of Space. Have you seen that?
So good.
I love it, but the director's been confirmed to be like a wife beater and stuff like that, which sucks. But there's a really good documentary. He directed the film, The Island of Dr. Moreau. You know, it's like Marlon Brando's last film. I think was Val Kilmer in that? I don't know. But anyway, he directed. There's a documentary about the making of that film, and I can't remember what it's called now, but it was on Amazon Prime last I checked. And I do want to watch that, and it's meant to be amazing. But the director, is his name Richard Stanley, yeah, and he hadn't directed a film since then until this. But this film is awesome, The Color Out of Space. If anyone hasn't watched it, it's great. There's one scene towards the end with a mother and a son that I was just like, what the fuck? And I'm not talking about. It's not perverse, but it's just fucking horrible, gross, and weird. But Good Time, which is directed by the Safdie brothers, who did. I
don't think I've seen that.
They did hit Uncut Gems, which has got Adam Sandler.
Oh, I'd like to.
Have you seen that?
Then. Yeah, love that film.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to watching that.
Very tense.
Story of Ricky or Riccio, which is like an insane like
Nice.
incredibly violent film, and the complete collection of Samurai Jack.
Oh, sick. I've never watched them,
And-
but I've been told I'd like them.
But I love this, but I want to watch his new show. Is it Primal? I think you said you've watched it, and he's like a caveman. And he's got like a dinosaur.
Oh, it's really good. Yeah. I like
I
that.
want to watch that.
He's got a dinosaur, hasn't he? And he's like, yeah, it's really cool animation.
Yeah, like his style is awesome. He also directed what's his name? It's my mind's gone dead now. The director, what's his name? But he directed the first 3 Hotel Transylvania films, which I've never watched. But
Yeah, nice.
yeah. And he also did 2. He did 2 series of the Star Wars Clone Wars, which are like hand drawn, which are pretty awesome. And then,
I've noticed as well because I got the Disney thing,
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. That's it. And they've put on like Caravan of.
Are they on there? Caravan Justice and the Battle of Endor.
And there's the Battle of Endor's on there, and they've also put on like all the old animations as well.
Oh, wicked! Like
Yeah.
what, Ewoks and
Yeah, they're on
droids.
there, and they're called, and they instead of just Star Wars, it's vintage Star Wars.
Oh, cool. Did you
So I thought
did
that
you
was
finish?
interesting.
Did you finish Book of Boba Fett?
I did.
What did you think of it in the end? Because I mean, like,
It became the Mandalorian.
it did. It was bizarre. That just like they may as well just done the Mandalorian and just done a subplot of Boba Fett in it.
Yeah,
That's all it needed.
I didn't understand that.
Because all Boba Fett did was just kind of stand around and demand to
white
see
tea.
people, and that's very white tea.
Uh-huh. I thought it was good, and like to see the Rancor in action, or two. Was it 2 of them, or was it one of them?
No,
It was
just the one.
of them.
Just the one.
That was kind of cool.
It
We
was
all know I like
okay.
the Rancor.
Yeah, your favorite character out of The Empire Strikes Back.
My favorite one. It is. But dude, I'm afraid we're gonna have to wrap this up.
That's all right. We'll have to do it more often, though. We keep saying that, but we'll
No,
try.
well, I'm now. Well, apart from going down to Brighton and working, I'm going to be available. So let's do this. And I also, would like to do it more often.
Yeah, I mean, even when you go away in September, it'd be fun if we could do some when you're away. Like,
I'd like that, to be honest. Well, I want you to come to this video on Tuesday and come and help me out and just
Okay.
come and hang.
all
If
right.
you would, it'd be amazing.
Okay.
Also, bring your green screen because mine's knackered.
Oh, okay. Intent. Even if I don't come, you're more than welcome to borrow it anyway. Just come.
No, I know. But I'm more to the point, I'd love to see you. So come down.
Yeah.
Like we'll be shooting. I think it's only till 3:00. I'm shooting from 10 till 3. And I'd just love to see you.
It'd be cool to actually do these how we used to do it back on the sofa. Back
Yeah,
in
it
the
would be
old
rad.
days.
I need a sofa though, mate.
Or we set it up like I'll put
Come
half
round
of
my
my,
bedroom if you like.
I'll put half of my sofa on the one end and you can sit on your bed on the other end. We'll line it up.
That's
So-
genius.
That's like we're both sitting.
I mean, we can do it downstairs here, but like, there's about 1,000 clocks. So all you hear is. So, but you're welcome. You're more than welcome. I mean, yeah. Right then.
All right, with that then, see you next time then.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Amazing. Oh, that was wicked, dude. Really enjoyed.